Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Today I have with me Abhijit Iyer-Mitra. Abhijit, welcome to PGurus channel.
Thanks for having me on, Sri, as always.
Viewers, please put up with a bit of the background noise as the crows and the caws and the dogs and everybody wants to join in on what's happening in India today in the last few days. Abhijit, this CAB/CAA. What are the reasons for this? I mean, if I read it, it is actually giving citizenship to 31,000 people or 31,000 odd people. 25,000 are Hindus, 5,000 are Sikhs, 2 Buddhists, 2 Parsis, and the rest Christians. They've all been in refugee camps for many, many years now. Why is the rest of the nation going up in arms like this and destruction of public property? What is going on?
So it's 2 separate things. First is the NRC, which is directly linked to the Assam Accords.
Yes.
Because one of the promises given during the Assam Accords was that because, Assam is an ethno-nationalist movement, it's not a religious movement.
Yes.
You actually have Hindus and Muslims there who believe that Assamese culture needs to be protected against Bengalis. It's basically an anti-Bengali movement. So what happens with these guys is that that's where the NRC started, and that was pushed entirely by Gogoi because, he himself is quite the Assamese ethno-nationalist. And it was a Supreme Court-driven process in which the government had absolutely no say, except they were quite enthusiastic about it for political reasons. Now, what happens after this is you have identified a certain bunch of people. I've forgotten the exact numbers now, but they're quite large. Not as big as we thought initially. A lot of these people got identified as not being Assamese residents or not being citizens or whatever, purely because of the fact that the government of Bengal refused to cooperate and provide them with their proof of their identity of their residency and things like that.
So it's basically mischief on part of Mamta's government.
Yes, it started off with that.
Okay.
Then what happens is the government introduced the Citizenship Amendment Act or Bill, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't make a difference. To incorporate these people who had been left out into India. All right. They're like, look, you've come in. We can't throw you across the border. It's not a nice thing to do. Therefore, we'll give you citizenship and keep you on. Now, for a lot of Assamese ethno-nationalists, this is a red flag. They're like, look, we did the process exactly to eliminate these characters, and now you're bringing them back in the fold. How is this even right? Right. Number 1. Number 2. Excuse me. Number 2. For the rest of India, like for those 40,000 people you spoke about, is basically validating the fact that they were persecuted and came to India. How is this against Muslims? This is something I don't understand. The only Muslim refugees we have from anywhere in the neighborhood are economic migrants. Mind you, not refugees, economic migrants from Bangladesh. Persecuted Pakistanis, Ahmadiyyas and co. do not come to India. They go elsewhere. They go to Dub Vegas, also known as Dubai, and from there to other places. The Hazaras and the Shias usually go to Iran, or again, because the Shias control the economy, they used to control the economy at one point in time, go off again to Dubai and places like that. They don't need to come to India. They don't want to come to India. Now, you have 2 categories. One is Bangladeshi economic immigrants, and the second who cause economic havoc here. They're not here for ideological reasons. That said, they're not particularly violent either.
I can understand why the Assamese are concerned, because in 1983, Indira Gandhi normalized, I think, 4 million immigrants. They gave 4 million immigrants.
Actually, one second. Let me just finish this train of thought.
Yeah.
Right. The second person who comes, and it's only a person so far, which is Taslima Nasreen on the grounds of religious persecution.
Right.
Now, the funny thing about Taslima is she hasn't ever applied for Indian citizenship.
That's
she
right.
keeps applying for a residency permit. because she doesn't want to lose her Swedish passport. Now, Sweden allows you to have dual citizenship, but India does not. Therefore, if she applies for an Indian passport, she'll have to give up her Swedish passport. Because she's not employed, she lives on a Swedish social security benefits. And therefore, what happens is, the kronas that she gets in Sweden, they lead a fairly comfortable life in Sweden, but in India, they go a lot further, right? So it's not a great situation, but it's what she's chosen. Now, the question is, tell me in all of this, how is this anti-Muslim?
It's not. It just defies. I mean, I'm completely gobsmacked that Jamia Millia University students or the neighbors of the JNU are so concerned about this. I mean, this has got nothing to do with these people.
So this is where you have to understand that these protests, they're a combination of both government mistake and opposition mischief. Government mistake, why? Because the government doesn't do public consultations, or it doesn't do these town hall meetings or wherever, or these sensitization campaigns. And after Kudangulam, one of the biggest lessons of Kudangulam is that even when you have mischievous elements, that entire Kudangulam protest was driven by those foreign NGOs and Christian organizations.
Yes.
Even when you do mischief, if there's community engagement, you can defray the consequences, the troubles considerably to community engagement. Why is it that even now, after Kudangulam, after 100 different episodes, this government still doesn't understand that you need to do town hall meetings, community consultation. You don't need to actually incorporate what they say, but at least sit down with them and listen to them, right? That in itself acts as a catharsis. They don't do that. So what's happening here is two things. One is you have people like Mamata Banerjee who can't afford to give up her illegal Bangladeshi immigrant vote bank. And she is now trying heaven and earth to protect them, which is why, if you notice, when all those trains and things were being burned for hours on end, the police didn't even intervene. They were sitting twiddling their thumbs. All right.
Right.
And then you have all these other politicians across the rest of India who've seen this as a perfect opportunity to stoke the flames and gain some mileage. I think it's going to backfire on them very, very badly because, the more these protests happen, the more people turn against.
Well, I have to just add one thing. Are you done with your train of thought?
I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to add one little thing. In this day and age of social media, all those students who are protesting don't fall for the thing saying that, if somebody comes and tells you, oh, in our days, we could get away with whatever. These days, there is social media and there is 100 people for every job. And if your face happens to come across on some of these things, guess what? You'll be quietly set aside. Don't ruin your future for trying to grab the glory for 2 seconds. It's not going to work for you. It's going to be actually very, very bad. And I think you go to college to get education, get a good degree, put your head down, study, do the best you can in your vocation, graduate and be somebody in life. So I was referring to.
So two different things. Two different things on what you just said. We used to do all this nonsense when we were in college as well, except we weren't violent. We just used to be very vocal. Now, the point then is we didn't have social media. We didn't have Google and things to find out facts.
Right.
If in this day and age you're still outraging and getting the violent riots based on half-baked information or no information at all, in the age of social media, then shame on you. It just shows you how to be very stupid.
That is true.
And second,
that is true. But I can tell you, as a teenager, reasoning is the last thing that comes into your head. It's some emotion that
they should just look at the Bollywood film industry. See, Umar Khalid and Shaila Rashid, they're like the Rajinikanth and Hema Malini of the protests, of the student protests. But for every Hema Malini and Rajinikanth, how many millions of people who migrated to Bombay or Madras who didn't make it, who have to live in slums pretending to be something called junior artists, who get nowhere in.
That is right.
They also need to start thinking about their careers, and it's sad, but it is what it is.
Okay. Now, I'm really hoping that somewhere something is going to give. Either the government cracks down really, really hard and starts acting on some of these miscreants, especially those who are not students who are caught inside the university campus. By the way, those people have to be thrown in jail. They were trespassing first of all, and then they are trying to create a disturbance. So I'm hoping that some order is going to settle down very fast. Amit Shah is not the kind of person who's going to let things slide. So let's hope some reasoning prevails. Thank you very much, Abhijit.
Insha Ganesha. Thank you, Shri.
Thank you.